hands as another girl shoved a sock between her teeth to gag screams. When Talia arrived to the prison school a month earlier, Sister Susana had called her into her office and told the 15-year-old she'd studied her life, as if that file of police jottings and psychological assessments on her desk could reveal anything that mattered. "You're not like other girls here," she began. "Yes, I am," Talia wanted to say. She didn't want to be singled out, treated as an exception, if it meant putting the other girls down. "I believe it was your desire for justice that led you to do an awful thing. But you badly injured a man. You could have blinded him." A pause. A rattle of voices in the cafeteria down the hall. She knew Sister Susana was waiting for a response. A denial, perhaps. More likely an admission of guilt. The nuns were always scavenging for remorse. "Do you want to change? With faith and discipline, anything is possible." Talia was not stupid, so she said yes. The girls locked Sister Susana in their room with the same key she used against them each night. Nobody would look for her or for the girls until morning. The sisters and lay staff were in charge of their correction and safety. There were security guards on the property, but they were all men, so the nuns made them stay by the front gates to prevent the girls from developing crushes and the guys from trying to seduce them, as if that were a greater menace than an uprising, the girls taking the building under siege as happened all the time in men's prisons. The illusion that women are safer among women. The girls returned to their silence. 12 to a room, the building held 4 dormitories in different corners of the building, each under the patrol of rotating nuns and staff. They knew the other girls. They had classes and meals with them every day. That night, they wouldn't worry about them, though, and Talia no longer worried about the girls with whom she planned her escape. The careless or slow would jeopardize her freedom. They would flee to boyfriends, friends, or relatives willing to hide them. But she had less than 1 week to get back to Bogotá, to the airport, and out of Colombia. When they hurried down the service stairs, out through the back garden to run across a sports field, and over the concrete wall spiked with broken glass to the road as plotted, she broke away from the cluster, hustling east past the courtyard, through the gate into the forested hills spiraling down toward the valley. Halting in a shadow before her final bolt, she saw the guards in the watch house by the prison driveway, hypnotized by the glare of a small TV. She'd assumed them to be some kind of police. They carried guns, and the girls believed they could chase and shoot them in the legs if they were caught trying to escape. She ran alone in the fog, through dirt and thicket. It hadn't rained in a few days, so there was little mud. She heard night creatures, frogs, owls, hissing insects. Through the tree canopy, the rustle of rodents or bats. An hour passed, maybe 2. Lights congealed. An illuminated road laced the forest curtain. She followed until she heard barking dogs warn she'd come too close to the fences of a finca, so she moved down the hill to the street. If you'd passed her in a car as she walked, small in her baggy captivity uniform, an expression more lost than determined, you might not have thought her a fugitive from the school for bad girls up the mountain, the place said to reform criminals in the making. She came to a gas station, far from any route the other girls would have taken, approached a grandfatherly man in worn jeans filling up his truck tank, and asked for a ride. "Where are you headed?" "Anywhere but here." She only knew the facility was somewhere in Santander, and the nearest town was San Vicente de Chucurí. The man scratched his beard. "A word of advice. Don't ever tell a stranger you'll go anywhere." "I need to head south. I hope to make it all the way to Tunja, but I'll take any route to get there." She didn't want the man to know she was headed to the capital, in case police asked him questions later. At least from Tunja, she knew she could find her way home. The man said he was going to Aratoca, but would drop her off in Barichara. Lots of tourists and buses passed through, so she could likely find a way south from there. He wasn't leaving until sunrise, though. He needed to sleep a few hours before getting back on the road. She didn't want to return to the woods. Before long, the police would have turned over every vine on the mountain searching for girls. She told the man she'd wait with him if that was okay. When he finished